So what's the Grape Explorer talking about today? So if you were following us on our trip to the Loire Valley, we had a great visit there. We stayed in Angers, but had lunch in Chinon. So if you want to follow some of our other videos, you can actually see our journey. But there was one area that I wanted to talk about that I didn't get a chance to talk about, and it was this area right here, which is called Bourgueil. And Bourgueil is an interesting area because it's on the other side of the Loire River from Chinon. I'm going to point it out on the map. So you've got terrain, and it's right here. So you can see the Loire River cuts right through here, and you've got Chinon here, and you've got Bourgueil right here. And it's pronounced Bourgueil. And this is a fascinating wine because it's got a lot of history there. So there's actually an Abbey de Bourgueil, which was started in 990. And basically it was a Benedictine Abbey. And they were the first ones to actually plant grapes in this area. So the history just is fascinating in itself. But this is an interesting producer too. So I wanted to zoom in a little bit and talk about this wine producer because this is Domaine Chantal Yezere, and this is Terry Brocard, 7th generation of his family making wine in Bourgueil, and they even use old foeders that are about 125 years old, which is a century's worth of history behind it. But they have underground cellars which are perfect temperatures carved out of two-fold chalk. So that's how they age these wines. They make the grape, but then they age them in bottle for at least a couple of years so they can get some intensity to it. And then I want to talk to you about a little interesting snippet about this particular producer. So this is imported by a gentleman, his name is Kermit Lynch, as you can see on the back. And a lot of people in the trade know Kermit Lynch, but I was Kermit's distributor in South Florida for about 25 years ago. And what was fascinating about Kermit was, he had a shop in Berkeley, California, but he was also an importer, and he would put together a really nice portfolio of small family vineyards like this. Kermit would go and select the wines. But Kermit gave me the inspiration to really venture off into my own because after a while, it was nice representing Kermit. Then all of a sudden I was thinking to myself, I could do that. I could go to France and find discoveries. And actually that's what I did. I went to France. It's big country here, but I was looking and I could find all these kind of producers. Maybe not the same selection as Kermit. Obviously, he's been representing these producers for many years. But hats off to him because, one of our founding fathers of importing specialty wines from France. And it's a risk to do these because a lot of people have never heard of Bourgueil and they don't know these wines. So we're the kind of mavericks, I think, to go and find wine and explain to people what these wines are all about. But at the same time, let's talk about this wine. So again, this is 100% pure Cabernet Franc. And, so when you, historically, these wines really, out of 10 years, you might get maybe 4 or 5 years where you think it's a really, really, what we call a great vintage. And the problem was the ripening, because Cabernet Franc is a long ripening grape. It takes forever. And sometimes, the rains do come in September and October. So during harvest times, it can be quite difficult. But with global warming, and so now you're getting more temperatures, especially this vintage, which is 2020, which is making really interesting Cabernet Franc wines, and I think that this is one of the best areas in all the world for Cabernet Franc. But when you smell this wine, it's got that beautiful mineral-laced nose to it. It's got cherries. It's got all sorts of beautiful red fruits, orchard fruits. And then you smell interesting things like licorice and spice, like real spice tone. And that really gives this wine that, what I call that lift, that power out of the wines. But this can be had for under $35 a bottle, $30. So it's a great value. I think a lot of people need to discover these kind of wines because they haven't changed in price for many, many years. And actually, you can see right there exactly where Bourgueil is. It's a beautiful region, a beautiful area, all small family growers that are there. Let's taste this wine. Oh, it's got cranberry. It's got that beautiful licorice sense of like spice tone in the fruit. Very elegant, very smooth, silky tannins. This is very well made wine. And I think that, you know, for anybody that wants to really learn about the grape Cabernet Franc, you really got to spend time in this area because Chinon and Bourgueil and Saumur-Champagny, those are the three, what I call the heavy hitters of the red wines in the Loire Valley. And they're great, great wines just waiting for you to discover. Again, this is a Grape Explorer, always looking for great wines, and we found one here today. Cheers.